Rhea Ripley's Riyadh-Ready outfit has fans talking. John Cena on The Breakfast Club, rare WWE MSG match released. Undisputed WWE Champion John Cena joined DJ Envy, Charlemagne the God and Company along with his head of state co-star Idris Elba on The Breakfast Club radio show for an in-depth in-studio interview to promote his new movie and WWE retirement tour. WWE released a rare Doring and Roadkill vs. FBI dark match held before the June 25, 2001 episode of WWE Raw at Madison Square Garden in New York City on their official WWE Vault YouTube channel. Rhea Ripley wore an outfit at the WWE Night of Champions Kickoff media event on Friday in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia that has social media buzzing. WWE's Rhea Ripley reveals her health scare. Rhea Ripley is without a doubt a top talent in the WWE as she has won the attention of the ladies division with her powerhouse image. Being a tough fighter, she has always given a great performance that has seen her emerge as a force to be reckoned with in the ring. But her path to WrestleMania 41 was not that smooth. The multi-talented star has just come forward with a major health issue that nearly led to the cancellation of her much-awaited performance at the legendary event. During an exclusive interview with Chris Van Vliet on his Insight podcast, she shared a scary problem with her lower back that almost kept her out of most important stage of all. Ripley reported that the injury was a result of a sore area in a match with Raquel Rodriguez in NXT, where she was back body dropped onto the announce table. Sadly enough, table was not in right place and Ripley crashed into sharp edge of the table, hitting her lower back directly. This would have a long-term effect on her since she would confess that her back has never been the same after that accident. WrestleMania 41 in doubt for Ripley. With her back problems getting increasingly worse in run-up to WrestleMania 41, she began worrying as to whether she would even be able to wrestle. She admitted that she did not believe that she was going to wrestle at WrestleMania 41. At the last few days before the event, Ripley sought the assistance of her personal masseuse, Matthew, who went all out to relieve the pain. Rhea said, "He extended me and got my hips straightened out." Because of his diligent treatment, she could walk and even perform at the high-profile event, but injury still keeps pestering her. Even with the discomfort, Ripley is still determined to fight through, and again, this shows her persistence in ring. Rhea Ripley reveals Vince McMahon's shocking reaction to her when she joined the WWE main roster. Vince McMahon clearly saw Rhea Ripley differently than the rest of the WWE universe when she was called up from NXT in 2021. Raw superstar Rhea Ripley was a recent guest on Insight with Chris Van Vliet. While discussing her call-up to the WWE main roster in 2021, Ripley revealed Vince McMahon didn't know what to do with her because of her look and saw her as a heel when everyone insisted to him that the fans loved her. "And then as soon as I came to the main roster, it was in COVID, so Vince McMahon didn't know what to do with me," Rhea Ripley revealed. "He didn't know if I was face or heel. And he's like, well, she looks like a heel, and everyone was like, you don't understand, she's a babyface. People actually like her." He's like, nah, she's a heel. Being paired with Dominik Mysterio. So then going out there and being so confused on what I'm doing but not having that crowd reaction to actually feed off of and prove my point that I was a babyface at the time, it made it really hard. Then after that, the trial and error with the tag team stuff. But also holding on to who I was in NXT. I feel like when I got partnered with Dom Mysterio, I could actually blossom a little bit into something different. Instead of being the hardass all the time, I was Mami. H/T, Fightful. Rhea Ripley will face Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight tomorrow at WWE Night of Champions. WrestleZone will have live coverage of Night of Champions this weekend. Read more. Rhea Ripley reveals who came up with her sexy pin. What do you make of Rhea Ripley's comments? Are you surprised Vince McMahon didn't know what to do with her on the main roster? Let us know your overall thoughts by sounding off in the comments section below. Rhea Ripley comments on having to adjust to Zoey Stark injury in real time on WWE Raw. Read more. https://www.wrestlinginc.com/1897388/Rhea-Ripley-comments-adjust-Zoey-Stark-injury-real-time-WWE-Raw/last month, Zoey Stark suffered a brutal knee injury during a Money in the Bank qualifying match on WWE Raw against Rhea Ripley and Kairi Sane, forcing her to be pulled from the contest immediately. This meant Ripley and Sane needed to perform a singles match on the fly, with both women doing their best to deliver in the ring despite Stark leaving unexpectedly. Ripley would eventually pick up the win, but in a recent interview with Chris Van Vliet on Insight, she explained feeling pressure to finish the match now that it was no longer a triple threat. "It's such a stressful thing going out there and being on live television where anything could really happen. We've seen injuries happen, Zoey Stark, she got injured and Kairi Sane, and I had to go out there and have a singles match when we were supposed to have a triple threat, and it was Kairi's first match back within months, and I haven't wrestled Kairi since an NXT house show. So it's like, okay, how do we do this on live television? If we stuff up, no one's getting blamed but us. They're not gonna blame anyone else. We're the two in there and we're the two going at it on live television, we gotta put this stuff together." Ripley shared that she often deals with anxiety as a performer, stating that she's endured several panic attacks during her time in WWE, but continues to open up about her struggles to help others who may be going through the same personal troubles. 7 surprises at WWE Night of Champions 2025. Roxanne Perez helps Raquel Rodriguez defeat Rhea Ripley. Since making her debut on Monday Night Raw, Roxanne Perez has found herself aligned with the Judgment on the June 23 episode of WWE Raw. It was Perez who helped Raquel Rodriguez drive Rhea Ripley through a table. Despite Ripley being the favorite to pick up the win over Rodriguez at WWE Night of Champions 2025, fans could see an upset victory in this street fight. The prodigy helping Raquel defeat Rhea in the street fight would be surprising to most fans and lead to Roxanne officially joining the Judgment Day at this event. 7 surprises at WWE Night of Champions 2025. 5. The Bella Twins reunite to interfere in the Raquel Rodriguez vs. Rhea Ripley street fight. On the June 9 edition of Monday Night Raw, Nikki Bella made her return to WWE for the first time since Royal Rumble 2025, being confronted by Liv Morgan. This set up the build for a major matchup coming up at WWE Evolution 2025. However, Morgan went down with a dislocated shoulder injury that may sideline her for the next 6 months. Now that this injury occurred, there might be some significant changes that start with the Bella Twins reuniting to return at WWE Night of Champions 2025. Nikki and Brie showing up to cost Raquel Rodriguez against Rhea Ripley could set up the WWE Hall of Famers to challenge for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships at Evolution next month. Spoilers: WWE Night of Champions 2025 results. The rivalry between Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez dates back to their time together on the WWE NXT brand. Once close personal friends training in the Performance Center together, the two women are now bitter rivals with one another. In the Queen of the Ring tournament, Raquel cost Rhea her first-round match against Roxanne Perez, Kairi Sane, and Liv Morgan. Meanwhile, Ripley got a measure of revenge by costing Rodriguez her first-round match against Asuka, Ivy Nile, and Stephanie Vaquer. After Raquel put her through a table with the Tajana Bomb thanks to an assist from Perez, Ripley went to Raw GM Adam Pearce and got herself a street fight for WWE Night of Champions 2025. This physically intense bout should see Rhea finally get some revenge on Raquel, putting this feud to rest for now before she moves on to try to once again regain her WWE Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez come face-to-face ahead of street fight. Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez are set to brawl in a street fight this Saturday at Night of Champions. Both women are heated because they screwed each other out of advancing in the Queen of the Ring tournament. First, it was Rodriguez who was a factor in Ripley losing her first-round match to Roxanne Perez. Then, Ripley paid back the favor and was the reason Rodriguez lost her first-round match to Asuka. The two clashed this past Monday on Raw as Rodriguez put Ripley through a table with some assistance by Perez. On the Night of Champions Kickoff event on Friday, both women came face-to-face to lash out their issues. Rodriguez reminds everyone that it is always about Ripley, but she wants to make sure it will be all about her when they tangle in the street fight on Saturday. Michael Cole reminds fans that it was Rodriguez who defeated Ripley in a last woman standing match back in 2021 during their time in NXT. Rodriguez says that history will repeat itself. Ripley did win the last no-hold-barred match they had since. Ripley intends on putting Rodriguez through a table tomorrow night. Rhea Ripley reveals Vince McMahon didn't know if she was a heel or face. WWE superstar Rhea Ripley recently sat down with Chris Van Vliet to discuss her transformative journey on the main roster, including the pivotal role that her alliance with Dominik Mysterio and Judgment Day played in reshaping her character and career trajectory. "Honestly, I think that was another turning point in my career," Ripley admitted, referring to joining Judgment Day and working closely with Dominik. "It made me open up as a performer. I was doing 9 segments in a 16-segment show, sometimes more. I was running around helping Finn, Balor, Damian, Priest, Dom, doing promos, making business deals, wrestling, and women's storylines. I had no time to think, I just had to go. It was like going live in 3, 2, 1, do what you got to do." Ripley credited the Judgment Day environment with allowing her to evolve. "Being partnered with Dom helped my character transform into something different," she explained. "I feel like in NXT, I was doing the same thing across brands, first as the Force from the second Mae Young Classic in NXT UK, then in a babyface role on NXT." She also reflected on the confusion surrounding her character during her early days on WWE's main roster, which coincided with the pandemic era. "When I came to the main roster, it was during COVID. Vince McMahon didn't know what to do with me. He didn't know if I was face or heel. He said, 'Well, she looks like a heel,' and everyone else was like, 'You don't understand, she's a babyface.' But there was no crowd to help prove that." After navigating that uncertainty and experimenting with tag teams, Ripley found her true voice alongside Mysterio. "I feel like when I got partnered with Dom, I could actually blossom into something different," she said. "Instead of being the hard ass all the time, I was Mami." Ripley continues to be one of the standout performers in WWE, and her run with Judgment Day remains a key highlight of her evolution from a powerhouse talent to one of the most multidimensional characters on the roster. What did Rhea Ripley do before wrestling? Rhea Ripley is one of the most popular stars of this generation. Mami's meteoric rise in the Stamford-based promotion has been nothing short of incredible. However, many fans wonder what the Australian star did before she started her career as a professional wrestler. In this article, we will look at Ripley's life before she began lacing up her boots. Mami has described herself as brutal from a young age, and her extensive background in sports supports that statement. Before she opted to throw people around inside a squared circle, Rhea was a soccer player. In her youth, she was a part of the semi-professional football team Fulham United, which is based in West Beach, South Australia. However, soccer wasn't the only sport that had Rhea's interest. Mami also actively participated in karate, rugby, swimming, and netball. She left all of it when professional wrestling caught her attention during a family holiday in 2013. The first match that sparked her curiosity and led her to pursue professional wrestling as a career was Triple H vs. Ric Flair. Since then, Ripley hasn't looked back and has found tremendous success in the industry. With an impressive background in multiple contact-heavy sports, it is no surprise that Rhea has grasped the different aspects of professional wrestling so well. Rhea Ripley is set to battle her longtime rival Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight at WWE Night of Champions. Rhea Ripley will compete at Night of Champions in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, this Saturday against her longtime rival Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight. The two powerhouses have been at odds for a while now, and the rivalry between them went to the next level on this week's edition of Monday Night Raw as Big Mami Cool put Rhea through a table with some assistance from Roxanne Perez. With the match at Night of Champions being a street fight, Rhea Ripley might have to fight not one but two formidable opponents, as the prodigy will be sure to take advantage of the stipulation and interfere during the bout. After handling her business with Raquel Rodriguez, Mami may look to climb up the ranks once again and challenge Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. With Rhea being one of the most popular superstars on the roster, it is just a matter of time before Mami is back on top and in the title picture. Rhea Ripley claims teaming with Dominik Mysterio proved Vince McMahon wrong. Rhea Ripley reflected on her chemistry with Dominik Mysterio as part of the Judgment Day, explaining how it contributed to her success on the main roster. Rhea originally helped recruit Mysterio to the Dark faction, leading to an on-screen romantic relationship. During a recent appearance on the Insight podcast, Rhea noted that this pairing allowed her to establish her identity, especially when Vince McMahon primarily considered her a heel. You can check out some highlights from the podcast below. On working with Dominik Mysterio, honestly, I think that was like another turning point in my career, being partnered with Dom and also being a part of the Judgment Day. It made me open up as a performer. It made me have to work a lot more because I was doing 9 segments in a 16-segment show. Sometimes more. We were doing everything as a part of Judgment Day. I was running around helping Finn and Damian, and then helping Dom and doing promos, making business deals, wrestling myself, doing women's storylines. And I was just like, I had no time to think about absolutely anything. I just had to go. I was like, what do I need to do? Cool. Going live in 3, 2, 1, do what you got to do. Then being partnered with Dom, it just helped my character transform into something different. Because I feel like in NXT, I was doing the same thing, but on different brands. I was on NXT UK, and I was that force that came from the second Mae Young Classic, and then that kind of transferred onto NXT, but in a babyface sort of manner, which was a little bit different, but kind of the same. And then as soon as I came to the main roster, it was in COVID. So Vince didn't know what to do with me. He didn't know if I was face or heel. And he's like, well, she looks like a heel. And everyone was like, you don't understand, she's a babyface. People actually like it. He's like, nah, she's a heel. So then going out there and being so confused on what I'm doing, but not having that crowd reaction to actually feed off of and prove my point that I was a babyface at the time. It made it really hard. And then after that, like, obviously the trial and error with the tag team stuff, but also, holding on to who I was in NXT. I feel like when I got partnered with Dom, I could actually blossom a little bit into something different. Instead of being the hard A*S all the time, I was Mami. On if she knew Mami would become so popular, no, I was trying to push the poppy agenda. And they were like, yeah, we can't do that. And then Priest was like, what about Mami? I was like, okay, guess I'll be Mami. I was really set on the poppy thing. I was like, I can be a little S***T stirrer, just be poppy this, poppy that. But they're like, we just can't go there. And I was like, okay, I respect that. Mami's gonna grow on me, though. Rhea Ripley reveals major misconception Vince McMahon made about her. Rhea Ripley recently disclosed a huge misconception former WWE CEO Vince McMahon had about her. The Eradicator has not been in action since she was eliminated from the Queen of the Ring tournament on the June 9th edition of WWE Raw. Speaking with Chris Van Vliet on the Insight podcast, Ripley shared that Vince McMahon viewed her as a heel when she was called up to the main roster. She noted that others in the company viewed her as a babyface, but McMahon didn't see it that way. And then as soon as I came to the main roster, it was in COVID, so Vince McMahon didn't know what to do with me. He didn't know if I was face or heel, and he's like, well, she looks like a heel, and everyone was like, you don't understand, she's a babyface. People actually like her. He's like, nah, she's a heel, she said. Ripley then stated that she was confused about what she should be doing to connect with the WWE Universe after being called up, but eventually found her footing after being paired with Dominik Mysterio. I feel like when I got partnered with Dom Mysterio, I could actually blossom a little bit into something different instead of being the hard A** all the time. I was Mami, she added. H/T, Fightful, Ripley will be facing Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight tomorrow at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. Jonathan Coachman criticizes Rhea Ripley for not selling on WWE Raw. Former WWE announcer Jonathan Coachman recently took Rhea Ripley to task for not selling enough on Raw. Speaking on BTT Studios' The Last Word podcast, the coach claimed Rhea Ripley didn't sell being put through a table by Raquel Rodriguez on the Red brand. The legend noted that Ripley was fine minutes later during her conversation with Raw GM Adam Pearce. So tonight, Rhea Ripley goes through a table. It's supposed to be devastating. 3 minutes later, she barges into Adam Pearce's office in the back, demanding a match. And Tommy, she wasn't selling, there was no nothing. She's like, I want a match. Oh, let's make it a street fight. Even better. So it's official. Couldn't said it better myself. And she literally runs out of the room. When did selling stop being a thing? Said Jonathan Coachman. It will be interesting to see if Rhea Ripley can defeat Raquel Rodriguez in the street fight at WWE Night of Champions this weekend. Didn't want to sh*t the bed. Rhea Ripley opens up on WrestleMania anxiety.